Hey guys, today we are looking at the 2021 refresh of the Onyx Pro and the Selenite Pro. These are extremely capable laptops because they're running the latest AMD CPUs and the extremely difficult to get RTX 30 series GPUs. Let's check it out. I'm gonna firstly do a quick overview of each laptop. Let's start with the Onyx Pro. It's got a 15.6-inch 144Hz Full HD display, a beautiful display to consume content, and the high refresh rate is perfect for gaming. Paired with some decent sounding downward-facing speakers, you'll have no problem using this laptop without any headphones. Listen to this. The mids and highs are pretty clear, but you can see that it's lacking in the bass. Moving on, at the top of the display, we also have the webcam. And it's good enough to take a video call. I don't think there's any upgrades in this department, but thankfully they maintain the Windows Hello login support. Further down, you'll find a full-size keyboard with 4-zone RGB. The keys are well spaced and have a nice tactile feel without being too loud. On the top right of the keyboard is the power button and fan speed control. Next we have the trackpad. It's a great size and position just slightly off center to the left. The tracking is very accurate, so I have no complaints here. Let's move on to I/O. Ow. Let's move on to I/O. Starting with the right side of the Onyx Pro, you'll find two USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports and a micro SD card slot. On the left side, you'll find a Kensington lock, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, and your audio in and out. Lastly, at the back, you have the power input, Ethernet port, a HDMI 2.1 output port, and a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port. Now let's have some fun and take the bottom cover off. On the inside, it's running the AMD Ryzen 7 5800HX and Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070, 32GB of DDR4 RAM running at 3200MHz, a 1TB Samsung M.2 NVMe SSD, and a 63Wh battery. So that's a quick overview on the Onyx Pro. Let's do the same for the Selenite Pro. It has a massive 17.3-inch 165Hz WQHD display with FreeSync. If you thought the previous display is good for consuming content and gaming, wait till you try this out. The speakers are a bit louder compared to the Onyx Pro, but other than that, they produce similar sound profiles. Speaking about things that are similar, the webcam quality is pretty much the same. You'll also find the same keyboard as we saw on the Onyx Pro. The trackpad, however, is much wider. I'm glad to see they make full use of the extra space. Moving on, I/O? Actually no. Let me save you some time. It's exactly the same as the Onyx Pro, which is actually not a bad thing, a wide selection of ports for today and the future. Now to my favorite part, a closer look on the inside. The Selenite Pro is running the AMD Ryzen 7 5900HX and Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060, 32GB of DDR4 RAM running at 3200MHz, a 1TB Samsung M.2 NVMe SSD, and a 90Wh battery. So that is it for the Selenite Pro. Both these laptops are very similar, but how do they perform? Let's run some benchmarks. First, we have Cinebench running the Time Spy benchmark. The Onyx Pro scored 10,137 while the Selenite Pro scored 8,941. This is mainly contributed by the better RTX 3070 GPU in the Onyx Pro. In terms of thermals, they have very similar results and it's generally okay except for the end when the CPU was hitting a high of 90 degrees. As with all Illegear gaming laptops, you can expect it to rank very high among other computers. Next, I ran Cinebench R23 benchmark, and the better CPU in the Selenite Pro should take the lead here, and it did, with a single core score of 1463 and a multi-core score of 13,313. Lastly, just to test out the included drive speed, I ran the Crystal Disk Mark disk speed test, and both these laptops scored similarly at about 3500 megabytes per second for both read and write speeds. In layman terms, it's freaking fast. Alright, as you saw from the benchmarks, these two laptops are very capable machines. It's a shame that the review units didn't come with the exact same specification, because that would have made it easier to compare and actually even more fun. Another thing I'd like to mention is, throughout the testing, the fans were on full blast and you or any other household member would definitely notice it. They don't do that for no reason, of course. These laptops, they get hot. Other than that, I'm really happy with the new Onyx Pro and Selenite Pro. One thing I didn't mention is how well built these machines are. I didn't notice any keyboard or chassis flexing, thanks to its magnesium alloy body. So if you're looking around for some new laptops that have a ton of power, you should definitely check out these two from Illegear. It really comes down to personal preference at this point, because one is 15-inch and the other one is 17-inch. The internals can always be customized on the Illegear website. By the way, my preference is the Onyx Pro despite its smaller size, because it is still a very capable machine. When I'm at home, I'm on the desktop anyway. So the Onyx Pro is perfect for my on-the-go usage. Alright, that is it for this video. As usual, all details about this laptop, including the purchase links, will be included in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!